Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of Everquest Old School. And you can see I am playing my Shadow Knight, and he is right here in front of you now. He is only level 4, but he's doing pretty well because the generosity of the people on this server. ZK, some of you guys may recognize the name of another player that I do Let's Plays with from time to time. Hi, do you need a weapon? This is what I'm talking about, just the generosity. I'm gonna say no, but thank you. So yeah, if you stay here at the entrance, you're bound to get somebody who's willing to give you something. Now, I'm not saying this is where you should come to like get weapons and then go sell them, but it is nice that players on this server are giving back as much as they are. Now, ZK, in fact, let's get out of here because I don't want to can make anybody else come up here and just give us something, but we're gonna go hunting. But ZK gave us a few things. He gave us let's see if I can click on it. There we go. And he also gave us this belt. Now the weapon is incredibly nice. It's 10 damage, 30 delay, plus 2 to my intelligence, plus 10 to my hit points, which is great at this level. That is actually better to have the hit point stat than it is to have stamina at this level. So that's going to increase how much health I have, obviously, but it's going to make a huge, huge impact. This is not the kind of game that when you play it, you know, 1 or 2 or 3 AC is no big deal. In fact, you're looking for an increase of like 100 stamina or 200 stamina. You know, that's not the way this game works. 1 AC not only is something that you will trade out an item for and pay an extra, you know, 500, 600, 700 platinum, but it's enough of a difference that when you're fighting, especially when you're soloing, that's when you're going to notice it the most, obviously, but when you're fighting, you'll notice that you are able to take hits slightly better. It's actually a noticeable difference in the playstyle, which is amazing because I've played games like Everquest 2, which I greatly enjoy. I'm not going to put that down at all, but I've gotten items that have, you know, 50, 60, 70, you know, something on them, stamina, wisdom, intelligence, whatever the case is, and I didn't notice any difference in my playstyle or in my ability to take creatures on because they were all so simple as it was. It's not like I was ever challenged too badly. The only time you're really challenged in that game, or pretty much any MMO that comes out nowadays where they make them so simple, is when you start getting into like raid content or into like instances where you can form groups together. That's when you'll start being challenged a little bit. Man, I'm killing this guy in one hit, and he's dark blue. That is the difference between the weapon I was using and the weapon I'm using now. It's freaking amazing, guys. This is a cool little weapon. I never had this weapon back in the old days. I don't know what zone this comes from. It's the spine pincer, and it's magic item, so I can attack will-o-wisp and creatures that other people may not be able to attack because I got a really good weapon. Now the belt is a black iron girdle, and I actually had that on my Shadow Knight way back when, so I do know that one. I'm familiar with that one. I don't remember what zone it dropped in, but it's not a very high level zone if I remember right. I think it's like a level 30 to 35 mob that drops off of, and it's pretty nice. 6 AC and 5 stamina. And as I said, at this level, the hit points would probably be better than the stamina, but I think with 6 or 5 stamina, I'm probably getting just slightly more hit points than the 10 HP is giving me. Now at higher levels, I believe it's a 10-to-1 ratio. So for 5 stamina, I'd get an extra 50 hit points, 10 for each one of them basically. But you know, I don't know what it is now. I think at level 30 is when that changes, when the cap penalty is taken away. So we're gonna take that down. Now he also gave me a gem that he said I could go sell because he was trying to camp some named in some zone, and the name just would not spawn, and while he was there, he went ahead and just ran around and killed some other stuff, because, as I said to you guys many, many times before, you don't have to give me stuff. If you just want to run by and wave and say, hey, you know, and talk for a little bit, you're more than welcome to do that. You know, if you want to give me something, that's fine too. I'll take it, and I'll be very grateful for it, and I'll show it off to all the users, all the viewers who are watching the show, but you know, you don't have to. Don't feel obligated to come over here if you just want to wave or something. You know, oh crap, guard's gonna kill it. I'm not gonna get any experience. What is he even doing out here? That's not a very common path for a guard. Now maybe he was chasing somebody through the zone, and now he's paving back. That's a good possibility. So we'll stay away from that guy for now. Let's come over here and get the Shadow Wolf. He's even. Let's see how well we do against him even. But yeah, I am very grateful for all the stuff that you guys have given me. He gave me that gem, and it was worth 141 platinum, which is amazing at this level. That's too generous. So I mean, you know, very big thank you to ZK for all of that. And he's done it on some of my other characters as well. And it's always you know, hand-me-downs from his stuff, so that's why I don't mind it too much. Because if he was literally going out and finding the stuff just for me, I'd feel really bad about that, because you know, you don't need to do that. But he said he was already in the zone and he was already killing the creatures, and he was trying to get something for that sells quite a bit. I think he was saying he was a Nurga, and he was trying to get an item that sells for several K, and it wouldn't drop, so he went off and he was just kind of farming the rest of the zone because nobody was there. And he found this, and it was for SKs only, so he thought of me immediately and been like, you know, I'll give it to that guy. And I'm like, well, I'm grateful for you thinking of me, because this is a cool weapon. This is definitely making things a lot quicker to kill, maybe too much so that those of you who are watching, maybe when you come over here, you're like, how did he kill so quickly? Well, at this point, my guy is probably considered a minor twink. I mean, he's not anywhere close to the level that I've seen other people do it, but he has a couple of decent weapons on him, and he has a few pieces of armor that are far better than anything you're going to get for some time. So now, this is a lesser mummy. They're around level 8 to level 9. There's also some skeletons over here. Decaying skeleton, I can kill him. Basically, there's a good chance that either a low-level skeleton will spawn or a high-level lesser mummy. So most people will come over here around level 8. They won't get very much experience, if any, from the skeletons, but they will use it as a source of bone chips. And I think most of the time the mummies spawn. So if you're level 8 or even around that level and you think you can handle these, you can come over here. It's not too far away from the entrance to the zone. So if you get into trouble, you can see there's another one on this side. So there's a 3 spawn rate. That one is yellow. You know, I kind of want to take it on. And I have So right now, or Sal, Spirit of the Wolf. So I think we're going to try it, because if we get into trouble, we can just run it. So let's see. Oh, wow, he hits pretty hard. Now, I pierced him for 16. That's a lot more damage than I should be doing with my regular kind of rusty, junky old weapons. But because I'm doing this much damage, I think we have a chance if we can hit him. Now, we do still miss quite a bit. He's not missing us as often because, again, he's higher level than we are. So he can hit us a lot easier. And when he does hit us, you know, he's hitting pretty hard. 12 damage, 5, another little thing of 5. And I only have, what is it, 120 health to start with. No, we're not going to win this one. Very, very close. If I had just a couple pieces of better armor, we could probably do that. I'm going to have to run it. Yeah, and thankfully I got my Spirit of the Wolf. Otherwise, I don't think we'd get there. But yeah, so level 4, kind of twinked. Not able to do that. Very, very close, though. So I probably would suggest coming over there at level 6, maybe 7, depending on your class. If you're playing a Necro, obviously you're going to be able to get there and kill those creatures a lot quicker than most classes can, because you got that extra little pet to help you out. How far away are we? Pretty far. I mean, it's not that short of a run like I thought it was. I mean, you can make it. But if you don't have, make sure you turn your auto attack off. The worst thing you can do is have your auto attack on, run over here and select one of the guards by mistake, and be like, "Are you gonna help me? Are you gonna help me?" And then you attack the guard, because they will slay you immediately. In this game, you can kill guards, whether you're evil or good. You're allowed to kill guards, and if you want to kill your own guards, you're allowed to do that. You'll get bad faction, but you can do it. Now, here he comes. He was taking a sweet little time. He's running a lot slower than we were. Wow, so that we need to rest up a little bit, but I'm going to show you a little bit more of the zone, and I think that's going to allow our life to go back up. I'm going to come over here and one hit this skeleton, because I greatly enjoy seeing that happen. Oh no, I missed. Come on, kill him. There we go. Wow, 20 points of damage. So I don't know how many hit points these skeletons have, but it's less than 20. So just keep that in mind when you're hitting for like 2 or 3, you know, things of damage every turn. It'd probably only take you 5 or 6 hits to kill these guys, and I think that's about right. At level 1, they really weren't that difficult. Now, I'm going out of my way to kill those guys because they drop bone chips, and I was just playing on my my Necro with ZK over in the Oasis, and we were having some difficulty when we first started out. Well, there's a lot of wolves over there. Just starting out. Now, I lost my pet quite a few times, and I actually ran out of bone chips. So this guy's going to trade my Necro, or do the little drop on the floor and then load up my other guy, because I don't really know that many people on during the hours I play, because I play pretty weird hours. Some days I'm on early, some days I'm on late. Now, for those of you who might be a little lost, the log that we've been hunting on for a long time was just right over there. You can kind of see it off in the distance right there. And behind that is the hill, and straight ahead behind that is the town's entrance. So you can come out here, you can find the main road. This will lead you over to Lava Storm if you head in this direction, and this will lead you a little bit further into the zone where we're actually going to be headed now. When you come over here and it splits up, you can either choose to go straight or you can choose to go left. If you go left, that takes you over to the location where we were just at with all the zombies and things of that sort. If you go straight, it's going to take you a little further into the zone, and it's going to split off to the right here in a minute. And that's the direction we're going to head next. There's a few camps in the zone that you can go to at different levels. This next camp, I believe, is around my level. And if I was full life, I'd probably be able to take one of the mobs there when I finally get there. But I think we might have to sit and wait for our power to go up. Now, what is this? This is a young Kodiak. He is threateningly, so he will attack me, and he is red. So there are some high-level guys out here. Shadow Wolf is yellow. I could probably take that guy. They don't usually hit too hard. And if I had some greater AC items like my bronze armor for my cleric or something like that, he could probably take the hits a whole lot better. But I'm trying not to tweak him up too much because I don't want to get too far away from the realism, the playstyle that most of you guys will be coming to the game with. Now, if you head out a little bit further, you'll see it's a little bit further away from the path. So in a lot of games, the path will lead you directly to where you need to go, and boom, there you're there. You know, it showed you. But in this one, you get here and you're kind of like, is this a dead end? There's nothing out here, right? I don't really want to get too far away from the path and lose my way and die and not be able to find my corpse. But if you're adventurous, you can kind of move a little bit further away and, you know, check down here. Now, some of you guys may not like the idea of killing these little halfling kind of guys, but they are even to me at this level. The only downside, I would say, to killing these guys, some of them are blued at that, but the only downside, I would say, is that, well, some of them cast spells, and their spells hit for a great deal of damage. Now, most of the time, if they are higher level or even to you, their spells will land on you. And if you don't have a high magic resist, which, you know, there's no reason for you to have that high magic resist at this level because you shouldn't have any armor that's giving you anything. Mine is 28 at the moment. Tanks normally have a higher resist to spells. They make it that way on purpose because they know you're going to be taking all the hits. And if you got hit as hard as all the other classes did with spells, then anytime you come into a mob that has spells, everybody would just die. And so they kind of give you this like innate resist that you will tend to notice. You'll resist them a lot more, and the ones that you do get hit by, you'll take less damage than most people will. So we will try this here in a minute because we still have our Spirit of the Wolf for another 12 minutes. I'm just waiting for my life to get up as close to full life as possible. Because again, even though that they're blue, I don't know if I'll be able to pull just one of them. I mean, they're pretty far apart. I should be able to pull this one right here without this guy over here actually attacking me. But I don't know. Sometimes it's tricky. Sometimes the aggro radius is a lot higher than what you would think it is. But this is a pretty good camp for around level 4 to around level 7. And from this camp, you can move on back to the one I showed you a minute ago. There's also ones further into the zone. If those are camped, you can go further in and fight at a few kind of more dangerous areas because, again, it is further into the zone, which means you're further and further away from safety. If if you need to run to a guard, it's going to be a little farther away. Although there are some on the bridge, so you can kind of run to those, which is halfway between the zone. But yeah, if you have to actually zone it, you're probably better off running to East Commons at that point than it is to run back over here. Okay, so we are full life now. I am going to go ahead and body pool this. Body pool, for those of you who are not familiar with the term, is just using your own body as the aggro. Basically moving close enough to the creature that he sees you and says, you're not supposed to be here, I'm going to attack you. The other way to pool is to use a spell, which creates a little bit more aggro from creatures around him. So if he's very, very close to a creature and you're not sure if you're going to get aggro on that, body pool is usually the best method. Although you'll have the least amount of aggro with the body pool because you haven't done any damage to him. So if you body pool it, run it back to your group, the moment he comes in the door, everybody in the room has the same amount of aggro as you do, which is not a good way to start. So it's kind of, you have to judge it on each and every one. So let's see, how close can I get? He should attack me right there. Oh, no, that's too many. Okay, we're gonna run that. So yep, even with the body pool, we weren't able to do it. Now, we might have been able to inch a little bit closer without getting the other guys. I did kind of just fall down like a foot, and if I had just gone, 2 inches instead of a whole foot, we may have just got the single guy. Sometimes it's that, minute of a distance that will pull 1 guy versus 3 guys or 5 guys. Now, at these low levels, they kind of, I won't say take it easy on you, because nothing in this game takes it easy on anybody for any amount of time, but there is a little bit more leeway on these lower level zones where you shouldn't really have to concentrate on that kind of minutia of just a few inches. But, with every zone there's a few exceptions, and that might be one of them. I actually never hunted there when I was coming through with my Shadow Knight the first time around, mainly for the fact that when I started, this game was new. Like, it had been out for, I think it was like 2 months before I had started, and this zone was so heavily camped because there's so many new people coming through the game. I think it was something like, an extra like 100, 200 people in this zone than what it could actually handle, which I think is probably around 37 or 38. Beyond that, you're not going to find a whole lot up, and it would have something like 200 and something people in this zone. And so once you got into a camp, you stayed in that camp for as long as possible. Now, because those creatures actually ran up to me and hit me, if they die, I get bad faction for it. So if I don't want to get that bad faction, I could just zone it. And that's probably what I'm going to do here, because I don't want to train these other guys, and they're still really, really far behind me. So let me go ahead and just zone it. And wherever they're at in the zone, they will stop in their place, turn around, and start pathing back to their camp, which means it could be very, very dangerous for anybody who happens upon them after that happens, because then they will get attacked themselves. So we are going to go ahead and end the episode here, guys. Again, if you do enjoy these videos, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. Definitely helps grow my channel, and I greatly appreciate it. Also, if you have any comments, any tips and tricks, or things you want to share, old stories of when you used to play, if you were, back in the day in 1999, or did you come to the game late? What was the expansion that you started on? Which one did you stop on? Because Velius is coming out here pretty soon, and I know a lot of people that are, die-hard fans of the original game say that shortly after Velius, came out, they stopped when the next expansions came out, and I'm kind of the same way. I stopped right after Velius. I wasn't a huge fan of Velius like some people are, but we're going to go ahead and give it a try. And I want to thank you guys for watching, and I will catch you next time.